Welcome back, guys. So it looks like Konami might be doing something right after all, or at least maybe. I'm not 100% yet. But this was kind of rumored from a week ago from Australia, their ratings board for video games, whatever the heck they're called over there. But there was a leak that there's going to be a Castlevania collection coming out pretty soon. Well, guess what? Konami has said, you know what, guys? The cat's out the bag. What does that mean? Cat's out the bag. Why the hell would you have a cat in a freaking bag, right? But regardless, Konami's announced, hey, 50th anniversary, we're gonna put some collections out there, bro. So their website flashy as heck, but kind of a pain in the butt, seriously, to navigate through. Oh my god, I was trying to see how to go into it and look at these games and back out and go so I could record and show you guys. I just had to open up multiple tabs. Konami, figure it out. Or maybe I'm the one that's having a problem. I don't know. But boom, Konami 50th anniversary collection for the PS4, the Xbox One, Steam, and the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch is going to be damn popular for these games for sure, especially because a lot of these are old Nintendo games. To play them on the go, what? But that also poses another issue and another concern. But let's go ahead and dive into it. So there's going to be 3 collections, arcade classics, and say what you will, Konami has become the most ridiculous company ever over these past few years. The stuff with Hideo Kojima, just gaming in general, the missteps they've made. But they have made some awesome games in the past, arcade games and console games. So really curious to dig into this and see what we got. Arcade classics, that's going to be the first one that releases. So you're going to have to wait a little while, but that one's coming out pretty soon. We'll talk about that in a second. Castlevania Anniversary Collection, and then the Contra, what? Anniversary Collection. So first up, let's take a look at the arcade classics. It all began here, all in the arcade. So this is coming out April 18th, 2019, 1999, digital only. So for those of you who, like me, prefer physical over digital, doesn't look like it's happening, guys. So digital only this time. All these classics, from what I have read, it's like exclusively digital. So I don't know if that's ever going to happen, that there's going to be a physical release. But we got some pretty cool games here. Haunted Castle, that game's a son of a bitch for real. Typhoon, I'm not too familiar with that one. Nemesis or Gradius. Vulcan Venture, Gradius 2, what? Life Force or Salamander, whichever, wherever you're at, right? Thundercross, Scramble, and Twin Bee. Pretty cool little collection. For me, I'm just being honest, $20 worth collection, not for me. Not with these games. We could play these games emulated anywhere. That's not really the point. It's nice to have a nice little collection with some bonuses and stuff like that. So they also have an ebook. What? That's an electronic book with new information about the titles, including interviews with the development staff, behind the scenes insights, and sketches and design documents never before revealed to the public. So there's going to be some super secret stuff up in here, right? So that's kind of neat and kind of cool. But with these classic games, that's kind of the thing. You can emulate these fairly easily. That's why I prefer physical stuff, because kind of holds some value for me there. SNK, I think they did it great with the 40th anniversary collection. That collection is dope. I know it just released for the PS4. I have it on the Nintendo Switch, and that collection is spot on the way you do a physical collection of classic games, for real. So let's move on. Contra. What do we got here? The originator of the run and gun genre. Is that true, or is Konami just making that up? I don't know. Was there other run and gun games before this? Somebody look it up and let me know. But here we go. The Contra Anniversary Collection. And this is where it gets interesting, because these next 2 collections, they don't reveal all the games that are coming out. But these are coming out early summer 2019, digital only. That's it, digital only. Game list. There's going to be 8 games. You got Contra, you got Super Contra, you got Super C, and you got Contra 3, the Alien Wars. Who knows where the rest of them are? We getting Contra 4? I don't know. But from what I have seen, maybe this is going to be the complete set of Contra games. I don't know. I'm not sure how many Contra games are out there, but it couldn't be, because there was a Game Boy one. There was Contra games all over the place, wasn't there? I don't know how many Contra games there are. I didn't look it up. But this is kind of cool. I mean, Contra, Super C. But this kind of all leads into one of my other concerns. But boom, bonus ebook again. Nice. Man, this background, I like it when they do these animated backgrounds. Kind of cool, man. I dig it. I dig it. So I'm imagining that would be $20 as well. Now, the one that I know a lot of people are probably going to be excited about, and that's the Castlevania Anniversary Collection. And these are classics that define the Castlevania series. So a lot of people are saying, well, they've only announced 4 games. It's highly unlikely to see like the Metroidvania games, Symphony of the Night and stuff like that. So I'm thinking Dracula X, Rondo of Blood. We'll have to see, right? Not 100%, but I kind of, you got Castlevania, you got Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse, and you got Castlevania 2 Belmont's Revenge for the Game Boy, and then Super Castlevania 4. Why not Castlevania 2 from the NES? Maybe that'll be added, but I don't know. I really dig that Super Castlevania's on there. That game is freaking great. Love it. One of my top favorite Castlevania games. But if this is like what define like classics, I've read that some people are saying that it's just not going to be the Metroidvania games. Maybe there will be, but they just released that other collection, so it's kind of unlikely, right, to see Symphony of the Night on here. I highly doubt it. Maybe we'll get lucky and get some of the Game Boy Advance stuff. Who knows? But the classics, like, are they going to go that, what defines classics of that define the series, right? Because I think little bits and pieces of everything kind of define the series, other than maybe the Nintendo 64 games, right? So I'm not sure. That's kind of what I'm dwelling on. Like, what are the other Castlevania games that are going to be on here? Is this going to be $20? The arcade collection one is $20. I would imagine the rest of these will be as well. But now this kind of causes a little issue here, I think, in my eyes anyway. So Konami did put some of their games like in the Super Nintendo Classic Edition, the NES Classic Edition, and now all of us with our beautiful Nintendo Switches. Oh, it's clear. What? Just kidding. With all of our Nintendo Switches who have the online service going, and we get all those classic games, and then the rumors of Super Nintendo games being released on there. When I see collections like this that are going to be for sale that have some classic NES, some classic Super Nintendo games, it kind of casts some doubts for me the long-term appeal of Nintendo Switch Online's classic library of games. Right now it's just NES. Like I said, there was rumors that it could turn into Super Nintendo down the road as well, which I mean, it's gonna happen. Like, who are we kidding? They're gonna put Super Nintendo games on there. But as far as the long-term appeal goes, Nintendo makes like awesome games, and for the NES and the Super Nintendo, some of the best games for those systems were Nintendo games. But at that time, there were so many other companies who were producing games for those consoles that put out AAA titles that were exclusive to that system, NES, Super Nintendo, so on and so forth, that no other system got. So as far as the appeal, the long-term appeal, if companies are seeing like, hey, we could license these out, it just depends, I guess, on a business standpoint. What I'm trying to get at is, with something like this being released, we'll never see Contra, we'll never see Castlevania being released on Switch Online. Like, it just seems very doubtful, right? Like, to get any more of these games added. And then, I mean, to take it even further than that, my thought process is that not just that Konami won't be adding, more games to these things, but other companies as well. Like, hey, let's make collections. Let's put this stuff out there. But then it turns into the thing for me, and it's always a big argument in the community, physical versus digital. For me, physical is just where it's at. I very rarely buy digital games unless I'm forced to. And I don't feel like I'm going to be forced to buy these this time, because I already have all these games. I have access to all these games one way or another. But yeah, I see like maybe other companies going that route, releasing games in collections, but if they're not doing physical with some special packaging, or you're not necessarily special packaging, but you know what I mean? Like, boom, an anniversary collection, so on and so forth. I just see like a lot of stuff maybe falling off of the Nintendo Switch Online service, and Nintendo's really gonna have to figure something out with that. So I didn't really want this discussion to go deep into those thoughts, but I was just thinking like Konami won't be putting any more games up. If other companies go this route, it's like a good thing to have access, though. I can't complain. It's a good thing. I'm glad Konami's putting this stuff out there. Good thing to have access to be able to support those developers who've made these games. Because they won't continue making games if they're not supported, right? But Konami's kind of a different animal. So, you guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. I read all the comments. Smash that like button. Make sweet ass Konami love. Do that Konami code on that notification bell. What? Subscribe if you haven't done so already. With that said, I will catch y'all next time. Peace out, bye-bye, and boom. Bye.